I mean, Ben Bernanke actually had the very fine sense to bash Paul Krugman from the New York Times, your left-wing friend. Krugman said it's time to reinflate in order to bring down unemployment. Bernanke said that was reckless. You don't expect Bernanke to react just because we have a couple of miserable jobs numbers, do you?
Well, first of all, Ben Bernanke may bash Paul Krugman now, but Ben Bernanke hired Paul Krugman to the faculty of the Princeton Economics Department when he was running it. So, oh my God, let's curb our enthusiasm on this one. Larry, the reality is that Ben Bernanke is politically weaker today than he's been at any time during his tenure as Fed chairman. He's not in charge of this show. There are other people in the aristocracy of the Board of Governors who really are controlling policy. Bernanke, while he's generally dovish, is the least dovish of them. There are ultra-doves out there who are in political control. They are Janet Yellen and they are William Dudley. If it weren't for Bernanke holding them back as best he could in his weakened position, we would have already 6 months ago had $1 trillion in unsterilized QE. Janet Yellen is a Democrat. She's an interventionist. She's a big government girl. And you know what big government's about. If it doesn't work the first time, try it again bigger. So she's now got 2 excuses in a row, 2 lousy job reports in a row. I guarantee you that Janet Yellen and Ben Bernanke are on the phone right now, and that Janet Yellen is doing all the talking.
All right. Jim LeCamp, I want to ask you. The jobs numbers are going down. That may cause some worry about things like retail sales, industrial production, the whole slew. That may cause some worries about profits. Do you think that you should be selling stocks now on those slumping economic worries, or somehow Ben Bernanke is once again, in the short term, going to bail out Wall Street? Where do you come out? Are you a buyer or a seller?
I don't think he's going to be fast enough. And look, I think we have a correction here. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think it's a regular correction. There's a lot of things to worry about. Not only the seasonal trends, but we have the seasonal trends that are highlighted in uncertain election years. We have the fiscal cliff, and a lot of people are really worried that this market is going to go fiscal cliff diving later in the year if they get worried about the capital gains tax kicking back in. We have the European elections that are this weekend, and we have an economy that's clearly slowing. So in the midst of all of this, you have Draghi and you have Bernanke saying that we're not going to bring the QE anytime soon. I think they will bring it. The Fed bought 61% of all treasuries offered last year. If they don't bring it at some point, who's going to buy the paper? I just don't think they'll come along fast enough to stop this correction. Yes.
We are doing a disservice by just glossing over that election in Europe. We're at a very pivotal time now in Europe where it seems that the French people are going to vote, and they don't want to be under the control of Berlin for much longer. To me, this is an enormous thing. And I know to say that, oh, we got to worry about Europe sounds trite, but we really do got to worry about Europe, in my opinion. And that's one of the reasons, in my opinion.
No, it's worse than that, Jim. Look, it's worse than that. The numbers over there are not coming in as advertised. The debt is rising rapidly at the same time that revenues are plummeting. Look, Spain is in a depression. We have a very serious economic problem brewing over there, and if you combine all of those economies, it's the largest economy of the world. Even the German PMI numbers were god-awful.
Jim, I'm sorry. You're just running ideas and numbers together that make no sense. Germany is not having a problem.
What doesn't make any sense?
Is the plurality of that huge economy. Spain doesn't matter. Spain is restructuring its labor markets. Things have to get worse before they get better.
Their PMI was 43. Look at the numbers and look at all of their trading partners.
Teeny economy. That doesn't matter, Jim. You're just looking for the wrong thing to worry about.
Go ahead, Don. What's your point? I want to know if you're a buyer or seller and why, Don Luskin.
Well, I agree with Jim LeCamp here in one way, which is it's clear we're just in a correction. We went through a whole quarter in U.S. stocks without even a 3% decline. We are due. In this correction so far, we haven't even had a 5% decline. So we've had a couple of, horrible bad jobs numbers, which are really like the jobs numbers we've had for the last 3 years, and so we're having a correction. Come on, give me a break.
Yeah, but
that's the issue. And Europe's not the issue. The issue is just that stocks have had a fantastic bull run. They just need a rest.
Yeah, but I just want to go back to my pal Jim Iuorio, because Jim, a lot of the Wall Street smart guys said at the beginning of the trading day that the sloppy jobs numbers didn't really matter. And yet they wound up mattering a lot for stocks, down almost 170 points. Jim Iuorio, why was that? Because that answer may hold the clue to what's going to happen on Monday and next week.
Because they absolutely did matter. And the fact that we're trying to tease every bit of positives out of the numbers we get, we did it yesterday, we did it with the ISM, there aren't that many positives to tease out right now. We are heading in the wrong direction, and they mattered enormously today. And what it means to me, and I agree with Don 100%, by the way, I think this is a correction. I want to buy the S&P at about 1330, but I'm buying it for the wrong reasons. I believe that the Fed, as you said, will step in and provide a backstop like they always do, and at that point in time, I don't
Jim,
want to be short stocks.
can I tell you what the big positive in today's news background
20
was?
seconds.
The big positive is about the jobs report was the way the media handled it. We didn't get the White House lie supported by the media automatically that, oh, yoo-hoo, the unemployment rate has come down. All the headlines were labor force shrinks, participation rate at 40-year lows. Even the brain-dead liberal media now gets it. There's no place for Obama to hide.
He's going to be held accountable. I rarely ever say. I agree with Don Luskin 100% on
that. May be
why in the short run, that's going to hurt the market. If you look at the history of election years, when you go into the summer of election years historically and you have an uncertain outcome, the market struggles. So in the short term, it could hurt the market. And in the longer run, I think it helps.
Leave it there.
You want to be certain about Obama being reelected? You think that'll be good?
In the short term, it may hurt the market. Don Luskin, thank you very much.